What's up, tricksters and tricksetas, and welcome to another biennial agents tier list presented by your favorite radiant coach, Charlatano Papito. First of all, as always, why should you listen to me and to my advice? I've dedicated 5 years to playing this godforsaken game, and of course, since 2020 we've coached over 5,000 players in this game, and only God knows how many of other players we helped through, all of the free VOD reviews, free coaching, videos, etc, etc. So I quite literally dedicated, 1/6 of my life playing Valorant, which is not something I would recommend to anyone. But we are where we are, I do not complain, I still love this game, and after the latest update I actually love it even more. So a lot of the agents got nerfed, a lot of the agents got buffed as well, or they got a proxy buff by other agents being nerfed, so the tier list is different. At least for ranked solo queue, of course. We got Radiant 23 times since closed beta, we've experienced a lot of different meta shifts and changes. This one is not the biggest one, but as I said, you can feel it. The game feels a bit more fresh. So this is the last tier list for 2025. The next one is going to be, of course, when the next big update comes in 2026. So until then, these are the best agents for ranked solo duo grind in Valorant. I need to explain some basic stuff that you need to understand before we move in, because a lot of you guys are going to complain,
"Oh, how is this agent S tier? How is this agent B tier?"
Let me explain. What is the main focus of this Ultimate Agents tier list? This list is representing the best agents for players' fast solo improvement in the ranked environment at this moment of time. So the main focus of this tier list is the ranked solo duo environment below Radiant levels. So this tier list means absolutely nothing to you if you're just playing for fun, or if you're already above Immortal 3, around 400 rank rating. In pro elo lobbies and in esports environment, every agent is viable to a certain degree because, every team composition can work, every agent can work. You should have figured out everything already. Your playstyle, the agents that you main, etc, etc. In low, medium, and high elo, from Iron 1 all the way to Immortal 3, usually the best idea for 90% of players is to main agents that are very versatile and self-sustainable in ranked environment. Basically the agents that have the highest solo carry impact, and the agents that are gonna put you in the most amount of scenarios in the game, so that you can learn, grow, figure out different solutions, and become a better player faster. If you wanna check all of the info about this agent tier list, I highly recommend you to join my Discord server for private coaching, where you will get consistent updates and more in-depth information. Yes, after every patch, after every rework, after every change, I'm updating this tier list, and I'm updating all of my documents on my Discord server at the text channel called Important Guides. You can find a lot of different documents, including this big-ass document for agents in Valorant. Instead of these documents and folders and videos, you can find an answer to a lot of different questions. Now that is out of the way, we can actually start with the actual tier list. Before we continue, this video is sponsored by Valorant Tracker TRN, which you can download for free by using my link from the description. This application allows you to analyze yourself and to always understand on which fields you can improve as a solo queue player. And in my private coaching sessions, this is the first thing that I do for my students. But this software is extremely useful to analyze your teammates and enemies as well. During your live games, based on these statistics, already at the start you can see which players are the weakness of yours or enemy team, which can increase your chances of winning if you use this data in the smart way. For an example, you can check player parties, and if 2 or more enemies are queued up together, you can probably expect from them some higher level of team play. They also have integrated guides and lineups that can be extremely useful if you're learning new agents, or if you simply want to increase your game knowledge while you're actually playing the game. Even though this video is sponsored by Valorant Tracker, I truly believe that this software can give you an advantage in your ranked games, and it can help you to improve faster. So, as with any other tier list, we're gonna go from A to Z. In this case, it's gonna be A to V. apparently, because we have VETO last. Just keep in mind that agents that are on the same line kind of have similar power levels. You know, if CYPHER and DEADLOCK are here, that doesn't mean that CYPHER is better than DEADLOCK. Like, they are in C tier. Now, they are not, of course, like... so we need to reset this just a second. Starting with ASTRA. ASTRA, as per usual, is a very pro-play-oriented agent. This agent is not suitable for ranked environment at all, especially not in low elo and medium elo. It's also a very situational agent, based on the maps that you're playing, based on the team compositions in which you're playing, and also, in the latest patch, ASTRA got nerfed so much. And I don't know why. You know, she got nerfed because of utility standardization, which doesn't make any sense. So, this character, simply stay away from it. The only time when I would actually recommend you to maybe pick ASTRA or consider maining ASTRA is if you get into Immortal 3, you know, 400, 300 rank rating, and you wanna fill with ASTRA on some maps where she is really good. Sorry, not sorry, ASTRA is gonna be in the D tier for now. Then we have our friend Breach. Breach also got nerfed because of these standards that Valorant is trying to apply, and I think it was a bit unjustified. Breach can be a solo carry agent. You still have a stun, you have 2 flashes, you have a very good ultimate, aftershock, you can still go for some solo plays, and he can have a really decent solo carry impact, especially if you're more of a supportive type of player, or if you duo queue with someone. Breach is still good on a lot of maps. Just, he doesn't deserve to be an S tier agent, and he is never gonna be as strong as he was before. So that is why Breach right now went into the A tier. Then we come to our friend Brimstone Zinho. Now, the only problem of Brimstone is that some other controllers are just far better for ranked environment, and in a lot of different situations, like he just doesn't have that factor to actually carry the games. You know, Brimstone is more like a starter pack in Valorant. Like, you're starting to play controller role, you don't know what to play, like, you don't want to dive into other controllers, like, sure, you can pick up Brimstone. Just other controllers, some other controllers are far better. He is way too static as well. Steam Beacon is also nerfed. The only power of Breach over other controllers is that he has these 3 instant smokes, and on some maps, such as Bind, that can still be good. Overall, I would just recommend you to pick Brimstone, as some kind of fill agent on maps where he is really strong. So, same as the Breach, he's gonna be in A tier. He's not bad, don't get me wrong. Just moderate levels of solo carry impact, and other controllers in ranked solo queue are just far better. We come to a very special guest in our tier list, and that is Vamos, Chamberoni. Chamber didn't receive a single buff in the latest patch, but every other agent got nerfed to the ground. Chamber right now is really good. You know, it's easier to dodge the flashes. There is less recon abilities in theory. It's easier to make some solo space, to get some solo picks and dodge these abilities. So, previously, Chamber on my tier list was in A+ tier. Now, he is in the S-, especially after the Chamber got back his global trip. That's the only thing you need in ranked solo queue. Like, just one tool from a Sentinel that can actually cover the flank, cover the lurk. His teleport is still mega strong in low elo and medium elo lobbies. Like, the lobbies and ranks where you're not gonna instantly get one-tapped, and you always have a second chance to take another fight. Still very versatile. He can abuse enormous amount of different, like, off angles, vertical positions. You can do a lot of different strategies with this character. And, above anything else, what is also powerful in the new meta, snipers. Less utility means that snipers are obviously gonna be good. And this guy literally has a free sniper as an ultimate. So, very good pick, and on my Discord server, you can find the full ranked playbook for Chamber and how to play Chamber on every single map, and also how to master his utility usage. Now, CLOVE is the character with the highest win rate for the last, 2 years. I think she's here for the 2 years. But, hear me out. CLOVE is just the controller that should play if you're just filling. Like, CLOVE is not a controller that you play because you're a CLOVE main. Like, she just doesn't have anything to offer in terms of versatility that some other controllers can offer. So it really doesn't make sense to basically play CLOVE as a main controller. Now, don't get me wrong. Heal very nice. Medal, hit or miss. Smokes, okay, depends where you die, you know, like you can still smoke for your teammates. And her ultimate is like worse version of Phoenix ultimate. CLOVE's self-sustainability is decent, but versatility is borderline 0. That is why CLOVE is A+ tier, because of all of the nerfs that she received, of course, but still a very good, you know, fill type of controller. Or, for an example, you want to learn controllers. Okay, you can start with CLOVE. You don't want to main other controllers, but you still want to fill controllers, you fill with a CLOVE. That is basically it. Now, moving on to the CYPHERoni Braderoni. CYPHER, for a long time, was one of the best sentinels in the game. He still is. For ranked solo queue, CYPHER is the only true sentinel that I would actually main from Iron 1 to Radiant. Yes, his trips got nerfed a bit, but not significantly. On the latest patch, I played CYPHER 5 times in high elo lobbies. Even the high elo players are not destroying the tripwires in time to not get triggered and to not reveal them. Like, depending how tricky, creative you are with your trips, depends how much success you're gonna find with them. You still have 2 trips to cover 2 flanks, to play the post plant with them. You still have 2 smokes to be both aggressive and passive. You have the one-way smokes as well. Ultimate that reveals the enemies, get the info. Camera that can be used in a passive and aggressive way for both info and aggression. Overall, CYPHER is still the best true sentinel in the game. He is nowhere near the S tier, but he is together with a CLOVE sitting in A+. DEADLOCK. When it comes to DEADLOCK, DEADLOCK is still a proxy sentinel, secondary sentinel. In ranked solo queue, playing DEADLOCK as a solo sentinel, you're literally shooting yourself in the knees and you're playing in a wheelchair instead of actually running and aggressing the enemies and, you know, having some kind of a solo impact. Her wall got nerfed a bit, but the price is down, so now she can play with a ghost and wall, but does that even matter? Like, it's just a stupid argument to make DEADLOCK like a good agent. DEADLOCK is a character that you play basically only in high elo lobbies after Immortal 3. And after Immortal 3, you can play her as a solo sentinel on some maps, but usually the best usage of DEADLOCK is combining DEADLOCK with some secondary sentinel with a utility that can hold the flanks and lurks. You know, DEADLOCK and Chamber, DEADLOCK and VETO, DEADLOCK and VYSE, DEADLOCK and this, DEADLOCK and that. She will never be like a true solo carry agent, or an agent that is gonna teach you something new, or the agent with which you can have a huge impact. So, DEADLOCK is gonna be the first C tier character. We got to the second initiator on this list, and an initiator that got absolutely demolished. So, Fade. Fade is an agent that really doesn't have any versatility in his gameplay. You know, it's a very linear agent. Very supportive character as well. Yes, she can be aggressive and passive, but with all of the recent changes, like, she is still not as good as some other picks with which you can play more aggro, with which you can find more impact, and overall, Fade is just the agent that you main when you're playing in some team play environments, like where you can actually trust your allies, where you can actually get some real value out of your utility. Now, Fade is probably the best recon type of initiator, that solo recon type of initiator that you can main, but still way too like static. The near sight is now nerfed as well, so going aggro with Fade dogs is a bit harder. The ultimate is a bit nerfed and buffed. You know, now when the ultimate hits you, you're instantly minus 80 health points, but the duration of the ultimate is also shorter. Fade is literally in the same position as she was a few patches ago. We're gonna put the Fade at a generous B tier at this moment of time. Like, she's not bad, just there's just far better options that you can play at this moment of time to get better at this game, to improve faster, and to rank up faster as well. That brings us to GEKKO. Now, GEKKO as well received one nerf, actually 2 nerfs. Like, Wingman stun is now lower, but like the last time I got a Wingman stun kill was never, basically, because all of the stuns in these games are anyways cosmetic. But the real problem of GEKKO now is that his abilities have 20 seconds recall time, and that is significant for an agent such as GEKKO. Still, GEKKO is probably the most versatile and self-sustainable initiator that you can main if you're starting to learn this type of initiator role. Like, if you really want to main some initiator that you can play on almost every single map, in every single team composition, especially if you're low elo or medium elo, you just go with GEKKO. Now, the problem with GEKKO is, of course, that in high elo lobbies, he is an absolute garbage. You know, already at immortal levels, like, this agent is doing nothing, and after immortal, like, you should probably switch to something else, such as Fade or SOVA or something like that. Because we need to consider all of the ranks in this game. You know, this is not a tier list for Radiant or for, like, high elo, for professional lobbies. GEKKO deserves to be right now in the A tier, but only one more nerf to GEKKO, and he is probably gonna go way down. Basically, we come to the harbor. Very simple. F tier, don't touch this guy until rework, and that's it. Playing harbor in any universe, you just don't do that. We're gonna see a month from now the rework is coming, and I really have high hopes, because they said they're giving harbor a new ability, and they're changing how the harbor works. So we're just gonna wait until the rework, and then we're gonna figure out, like, where harbor is gonna be at this moment of time. Now, ISO. Listen, for a long time, I mean, not a very long time, like just for the first few months when the ISO got released, I was considering that ISO was not that good, but to be honest, like, ISO is like a better version of REYNA for ranked solo queue. Especially after all of the buffs that ISO got, he is a pretty good character, depending on which maps you play them, and what are your strengths and weaknesses as a player. ISO is probably the #1 agent that I would recommend to players that are all aim, no brain. He deserves right now to be in a solid A tier. Not very versatile, but he can adapt to some situations, and of course for highly mechanical players that are just all aim, no brain, probably one of the top 3 picks that you can play right now. Now, JETT. JETT has been a face of Valorant for the last 5.5 years. Yes, during these 5.5 years, JETT got nerfed multiple times, but JETT is still one of the 3 musketeers when it comes to the solo players improvement and ranked grind. The agent is highly versatile, highly self-sustainable, and a very high solo carry impact that this agent can have. So essentially, the only problem with the JETT right now is that skill ceiling for learning JETT is a bit higher. You know, let's say, for example, in 2020 and 2021, even if you play the JETT for like 50 hours, you can say you are a JETT main. It was that easy to pick up this agent and actually become good with it. Now you need to spend like 200 to 300 hours with this agent to develop a proper timing for executes, proper timing to activate the dash ability, but still, once you dial down all of that, you can just be a monster. Like the same monster you were 5 years ago. 95% of games in which I coach, which I play as well, there is a JETT at least in one team, and for a good reason. Agent is still highly versatile character with very high self-sustainability. It can work in every elo, every rank, for every player, and it can teach you a lot about Valorant. Now, KO, the Robocop of Valorant. Recently, I started maining KO and playing KO a bit because his pop flash got nerfed. The underhand flash, like now it's above 2 seconds, and you can go for some crazy plays and be very aggressive with it. KO still has the same problem as he had before. Like, other agents and other initiators are just far better. KO is still a heavily supportive type of character. There's not that many plays that you can go for as a KO main. Like, yes, he is now a bit more fun to play because it's easier to go for a pop flash and to peek the enemies with a pop flash with a right click. But nah, if you're just starting Valorant right now, or you're like low elo or medium elo, KO wouldn't be even in top 15 agents that I would recommend to any player in this game. Any player in this game. So maybe, you know, he is in that other portion, like that other bottom 14 agents that you main in this video game. So KO, same as with the Deadlock, he is gonna be in the C tier right there. You can play him, you can try him out. It's really fun going for these, you know, underhand flashes and blinding yourself, blinding your teammates, blinding the enemies, and then you know, making some space. But when that is not working, and enemies have some really strong setups, utility usage, or strong players as well, it's not that much that you can do. Like, you just tap the heads and that's it. Now, KILLJOY got a bit of a buff and nerf, like changes that really don't make any sense, in my opinion. KILLJOY is still in the same position where she was before. Like, she is one of those sentinels that can still work in ranked solo queue, depending on which maps you play her. But if you look at other agents, like, she's just nothing special compared to what she was like a few years before. Generally speaking, like, KILLJOY is just a fill character that you play if you don't have a sentinel on some of these maps where KILLJOY is just a really, really good sentinel, such as, for example, Ascent. Don't get me wrong, for some players, like, this can be your main agent. This agent can work in almost any elo and any rank. But if I coach someone and I see that this type of a lurking sentinel playstyle is working for you, KILLJOY is not gonna be on top of my list. It's probably gonna be either Chamber or CYPHER or someone else, obviously. Now, the Neon is a highly situational character. A character that is very inconsistent in ranked solo queue, and a character that completely depends on raw mechanics. Like, basically, Neon is the agent that you main only if your mechanical skill is far above average for your current rank and elo. Like, you can win your 50-50 fights 7 out of 10 times. That is when you play Neon. And of course, you need to be really good with pre-planning and with your movement with this character. Like, you just need to do so many things right in order to get some kind of a value out of this agent. And now, of course, OMEN.
OMEN got nerfed! OMEN got nerfed! Oh my god, his paranoia got destroyed!
Actually, his paranoia is better than ever. Like, now, every paranoia is a fast paranoia. OMEN is still one of the 3 musketeers that are the best for ranked solo queue grind and the best for players' solo individual improvement. Let's talk about the OMEN versus CLOVE. Why does the CLOVE has a high win rate in ranked solo queue? Even a player with 1 brain cell, player that never played controllers in his life, he picks up the CLOVE, very intuitive agent, very straightforward. You don't need to think about it. You just smoke here, smoke there, shoot, 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 medal, revive, that's it. Now, why is the OMEN's win rate bad? Because people pick OMEN as a fill agent. You cannot play OMEN half-ass. Ever. Never. Like, if you want to main OMEN, that is your main agent, and you need to study that character deeper. Like, OMEN, same as JETT, requires 200 to 300, 400 hours of playtime in order to dial down everything. Every execute, every outplay, every utility usage, and to learn those different scenarios. But once you do that, you become a 10 times more useful teammate than a CLOVE main. As long as they don't touch his shrouded steps, he will always be one of the best agents, not only for the ranked solo queue environment, but also for the pro play as well. And you're gonna continue seeing OMEN quite a lot in VCT as well. Now we come to the Phoenix. Phoenix, same as always, like literally a no-brainer type of pick. Very self-sustainable. You can now heal on the go. You have 2 healing abilities. You have a second life for only 6 ultimate points. You have a wall to do enormous amount of outplays to take the space, Molotov to deny the space, 2 very good pop flashes, probably one of the best pop flashes beside the KO and YORU, and overall his kit is just good. He's not the best agent in the game. He will never be, because he's not versatile enough. Like, same as ISO. Phoenix is a character that I especially recommend in low elo, for the players that are maybe starting duelists for the first time, or they want to play this type of flash type of agents. Like, very easy to pick, you know, like, I don't know, you're playing, for an example, Sunset. You know, like, on Sunset we have very simple executes, like you curve a wall like this, then you have 2 options to pop flash the enemies. You take this initial space for your team. With a Molotov you can deny extra space for the enemies. Like, everything is set in stone. You follow, you know, a specific pattern, a specific playstyle, a specific set of rules, and it's very easy to find success with this agent. And it's kind of criminal that his ultimate is only 6 ultimate points, because farming his ultimate is mega OP, especially in the low and medium elo lobbies. Probably is gonna be nerfed in the future, like, probably. But Phoenix, of course, is not S+. He is an S- character in the game. Like, JETT and OMEN are just far better. Now, Razeroni Braderoni. RAZE is the final musketeer. Basically, boom here, boom there, clear this angle, clear that angle, push the enemies out, engage the enemies, aggro, passive, playstyle, do this, do that, get on that off angle, this off angle, your teammates are moving in, double satchel in, that's it. Satcheling, very easy to learn. I explained it in my playbook on my Discord server, how to learn satcheling with a RAZE in the most efficient way possible. RAZE is just not the best agent on every single map in Valorant. Like, that is her problem. But also, one good thing for RAZE is that it is so easy to get value with the RAZE utility in low elo and medium elo. Especially in between Iron 1 and Ascendant 1, like Diamond 3. Like, you don't even need to think that much. You just follow some basic instructions. Every round you can be good for 1 kill, minimum. Overall, when it comes to the S+ tier, nothing changed. Now, why nothing changed? Because everything else got nerfed. Like, all of these other agents got demolished in the game. And now characters that are, you know, duelists, agents with movement abilities, agents with the escape tools, and agents with high versatility are gonna be even more valuable than before. Now, Reyna, I'm not gonna spend too much time on Reyna. Reyna is basically same as Neon. Like, literally same as Neon. First of all, I would never main Reyna. Ever. Like, I would always like to have ISO in my team over the Reyna, and I would always recommend players to play ISO over the Reyna. Yes, Reyna flashes and leers can be good from time to time, but also now with the changes, like, if you play with the shotguns, you can kinda see her a bit faster and kill her, but it doesn't matter. Like, Reyna is just the agent that you play if your raw mechanical skill is far above average for your current rank in elo. It is that type of a pick. Now, when it comes to Sage, Sage did receive some buffs and nerfs here and there, but overall, nothing changed for the Sage, like, in the last few years. Like, Sage is still an agent that lives in the shadows of other characters, very niche type of pick, depending on which map you're playing, and versatility and self-sustainability of this agent is like nothing. Like, DEADLOCK and Sage are the agents that I would literally only play in high elo lobbies on some maps where these agents are good, or as a secondary sentinel. And that is when I would recommend you to play these agents. The problem with the Sage is that you revive your JETT, that is 0-20. You fully heal your RAZE that don't want to go in, that is playing passively, playing only with a Bucky on Breeze. Wall, okay, Wall you can still use for aggressive plays, and Wall is much better than before, but still, her power levels are nowhere near the other characters. I would even play DEADLOCK over the Sage in ranked solo queue. Now, SKYE received a proxy buff. Like, basically, other initiators got nerfed. Now, SKYE is buffed, right? SKYE is good now. Absolutely not. She's still the same shit and same trash can as before. You only play SKYE in high elo lobbies on the maps where SKYE is good, like, for example, on Bind. And in low elo and medium elo, you don't touch this character. Like, it doesn't exist, basically. Now, SOVA is still one of the best solo initiators in the games that you can play on the maps where SOVA is meta, such as Abyss, Icebox, etc, etc. His solo carry potential is absolutely gone for the last few years. But for high elo, SOVA alongside the Fade deserves to be in B tier, and these are probably the only two initiators that I would seriously consider maining after Ascendant 1. Like, after Ascendant 1, like, if I wanted to main initiators, these are the two options that I would really look into, develop some lineups, and learn how to play them. But still, for low elo and medium elo, far better options, far better picks. I mean, this is an accurate representation of SOVA player in lobbies below Immortal. You use the arrow for your teammates. You use the arrows to deny the enemy's sentinel utility. You start to drone. You're looking at your drone. You even reveal the enemies on the site with your drone. But your teammates move in. All 4 of them die. And you end up 1 versus 5. And that is a very common occurrence that's gonna happen to you. SOVA is lacking versatility and self-sustainability even more than Fade in those lower elo and medium elo lobbies. Like, Fade is a pick that I would maybe even consider between Iron 1 and Diamond 3. SOVA is a pick that I would only consider if you're above Ascendant 1. Now, TEJO just received a proxy buff. TEJO is an agent that purely depends on your strengths and weaknesses as a player, in which rank you're playing, on which map, and stuff like that, but all of the other initiators got nerfed so much that TEJO actually got buffed, and these days I'm actually seeing TEJO more and more, because his kit is actually really good right now. I mean, you have 2 separate guided salvos for the post plans to clear the angles, to engage the enemies, like you can have an advantage in potential 2 fights. Then the drone is a really good drone, not only for you, but also for your teammates as well. The stun, very good aggressive tool to engage the enemies, to get them out of certain positions, and also to support your teammates. And the ultimate, like, just what do you need more from a solo carry initiator? Only because other agents got nerfed, I'm gonna put TEJO in the A tier and above these guys. That leads us to Viper. With Viper, I'm gonna be very short. It's same as ASTRA. It's a pro play agent, not worth playing in ranked solo queue until high elo lobbies. Period. She can work as a secondary controller on most of the maps. As a solo controller, he's only good on Icebox and Breeze, and that's it. Like a pro play character for which you need a lot of team coordination and a lot of different factors to make her work. Plus, she got nerfed in the past quite a lot. Just don't play her. Other controllers are just far better for ranked solo queue and for your personal development as a player. Now, VYSE, VYSE got absolutely obliterated in the last patch. Her flash is not revealing the enemies anymore, which was a huge part of her kit. Wall is much easier to trigger. Ultimate is very small and takes more time to activate. Like, I don't remember the last time I saw VYSE in ranked solo queue. And I also don't remember the last time when the VYSE actually caught me in this ultimate. Like, now VYSE is a very niche pick, same as KILLJOY. You can play her on some maps, in some environments, but this is the agent that you really just play in high elo lobbies on some maps where she's just really good. Such as, for example, Sunset, Lotus, etc, etc. On the attacker side, VYSE was already bad. Now she's terrible, essentially. Plus, you can destroy the flash now while it is being activated, which is mega easy. Which leads us to WAYLAY. When the WAYLAY came out for the first time, I was really hyped about it, but she kinda sucked. Her utility was a bit too slow, things were a bit slow for ranked solo queue, and she was mainly a team play type of character. And for a long time I kept her at A+ tier. But with the recent nerfs and buffs that she received, she's actually a really strong solo carry agent in ranked solo queue. Now, the problem with WAYLAY is that I cannot really recommend this agent for super low elo lobbies. Like, if you're playing below Platinum 1. With these other agents, you're probably gonna find far more success than with the WAYLAY. But listen here, in high elo lobbies and medium elo lobbies, and especially if you play duo queue, she can be mega annoying and extremely good. She can be S- easily. Now, YORU. Oh my god. Yes, YORU did get nerfed. Yes, flashes are shorter. Yes, now the enemies can hear the teleport and you using the teleport. Yes, the ultimate now is more as a recon tool, but still you can use it for the aggressive plays and to f up the enemies if you position yourself properly. Overall, YORU is still the second most versatile agent in Valorant. As long as they don't touch his macro kit, like teleports, flash, fake out, ultimate, nothing is gonna change. Like in ranked environment, having an option to switch the sights, switch the place, play with the enemy's mind, 2 flashes plus the fake out, 2 teleports, like you have 2 chances to make a proper play. Ultimate such as Dimensional Drift, like what else do you need? YORU is still the S tier agent in Valorant. And finally, my brother VETO, man. For a very long time, I mean, when I say for a very long time, I mean like 2 weeks, I didn't really know what to think about this agent and where to put him. I've been playing VETO on one of my alt accounts every single day in 1 match. I've also coached 2 players on VETO, and overall, the agent is just fine. VETO has one huge problem, and that is, depending on which map, in which rank, and against which team composition you play him, depends how much success you're gonna find with this character. And the whole point of his signature ability is denying these big abilities. But in a match where you play against, I don't know, like Chamber, CLOVE, CYPHER, I don't know, like ISO, JETT, then Neon, OMEN, like a lot of the solo queue agents, you know, this interceptor ability does nothing against them most of the time. And not only that, you need to reactivate this ability that lasts only for 10 seconds and that enemies can destroy it with 1 bullet. And the range of the ability is pretty small for a lot of the choke points in Valorant. Now, the main strength of VETO are actually the other abilities. Chokehold, for an example, is good. You can use it in a passive way to basically control the choke points and stuff like that. But you can also use it in an aggressive way to engage the enemies. You can use it as a lineups to deny some space from the enemy team. Lineups for post plants on Abyss are really interesting and fun. Teleport, the crosscut, is probably the worst teleport we have in the game, but it is still a movement type of ability. So still you can reposition really fast to support your teammates. You can abuse a lot of different off angles and common and different positions from which you can engage the enemies. Just the problem is that this ability becomes more useless as you go higher in ranks. It's still an agent that heavily relies on different factors that we're gonna talk about right now. So, VETO, for now, I'm gonna keep it at A tier. Depending on certain factors, like we might put him a bit lower or a bit higher, but I think this agent can only go down. Now, let me explain this a bit deeper. First of all, S+ tier. The best agents for rank grind and overall players' improvement. S tier, the most versatile agent after OMEN, but he requires much higher levels of knowledge and awareness. S-, all of these agents have very high levels of solo carry potential and self-sustainability. A+, you simply play CLOVE if you don't know how to play OMEN or you want to fill the controllers and you don't want to bother learning OMEN, while CYPHER is still the best true sentinel in the game if you want to main some kind of a true sentinel. A tier, very situational picks based on maps, team compositions, and your strengths as a solo queue player. So they can be B+, they can be B, they can be B-, they can be A+, S-, depending in which ranks you play them, what are your strengths as a solo queue player, and in which team compositions you play them as well. B+, you main these agents if your overall mechanics are above average for your current rank. B tier, the best solo initiators. If you already want to main some solo initiators, I would probably go with Fade or SOVA. B-, highly situational sentinels that can still work in ranked environment on some maps. C tier, there are just far better options for rank grind. You know, all 4 of these agents, they can work as a secondary initiators, control sentinels, and on certain maps, certain ranks, elos, but they're just far better options that you can main with much higher solo carry potential, versatility, self-sustainability, and adaptiveness. And D tier, pro play agents that work the best in environment where team play is possible and are also very situational. Now, when it comes to understanding these topics a bit deeper, join my Discord server, go to the important guides, and you have this whole ass document where I've explained literally everything. You are entitled to your own opinion. We can have a debate as much as you want. Like, my list is based on my statistics, my coaching, my way of teaching players how to play this game, and some objective statistics that I have from ranked solo queue and coaching players in Valorant. Now, I'm not AI, I'm not like the only player playing this game. At the end of the day, what works the best for you is what you should main. This is just a list and opinion based on what's gonna work for 90% of players in ranked solo duo environment. Other than that, thank you for watching. Leave a like, comment, you know, tell me your opinion about the current nerfs, buffs, and agents in Valorant. Subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.